Good morning. So on this fine morning, I'm going to share another answer that I gave during my consultation with an international group of business leaders who paid a hefty sum to get some valued advice. And for showing up here this morning, you get it gratis. The question that prompted the excerpt that you'll see was this: what is leadership and its role in development? Apparently, the concept of leadership is highly controversial in some countries that these leaders were representing from. Here is how I addressed this question. I mentioned to you earlier how Richard Branson explained it, that a company consists of one thing, and that is people. And he explained how he buys the same planes as all the other airlines, but it's the people that he puts in those planes, the employees, that make the company mediocre or make it excellent. And so if you are the owner of the business, if you are the leader responsible for leading that business, then your product is not the thing that your business sells. This is a really important point. I hope you get it. You're not in the business of engineering if you have an engineering company, or you're not in the business of the law if you're an attorney, or you're not in the business of plumbing if your business is plumbing. If you're a leader, if you're the owner of the business, then your product is the people in the business. You are in the people business. You are in the people growth and development business. People say that I'm in the personal growth and development business. I'm telling you, every one of you in the room, if you are a leader or a manager in a business, all of you are in the people growth and development business. It is your job to grow, to develop, to motivate, to inspire, and to draw the best out of the limitless, untapped potential of the people a part of your team, of your organization, of your business. It is your job to draw out the human magic that will make that business work. As a leader, you're not leading spreadsheets. You're not leading profit and loss statements or balance statements or processes or procedures or even strategies and systems. You are leading the people who are doing all those things. So your product, your business, is the people in the business making the business work. Period. Full stop. So first off, the most important thing you can do now that you know that you're in the people business is to get to know your business, meaning get to know the people that you lead. What gives them purpose? What gives them meaning and a feeling of significance and a feeling of personal fulfillment? And then how can you tie that to their job role, the one that they play in your business? What are they motivated by? What are their core, deep down human motives? Then how can you use that motive and tie it to their day-to-day functions in your business? That's the art of leadership. Who do they care most about? Who do they want to provide for? What do they want to provide for those people? Is it a better home? Is it getting into a better school system? Is it saving for university education? Is it going on better vacations, etc.? And what is that going to take? And then the art of leadership is, how do you tie those motives of what they want to provide for others to level up their efforts in their job role? When you are in the people business, your objective is to identify their core human needs, those things that matter the most to them, and then align those with the performance needs of their role. Align their goals with the goals of the enterprise and the goals of their role. That's the main art form of leadership, to show them how they can satisfy their greatest human needs through their role in your organization and the achievement of the enterprise's overall mission. And here's the even trickier part to all this. Everybody gets their human needs satisfied differently. It's kind of like love languages in a relationship, right? Each person's love language is different than another. Well, in your business organization, each person receives affirmation and empowerment and challenge and inspiration differently. And it's different at different times. Some people, at some times, they need that high five of praise. Sometimes they need a pat on the back. And sometimes they just need an arm around their shoulder. And sometimes they need a smack upside their head The role of the leader is to have the emotional intelligence to know who needs what, when, and how, and what language to use with one person versus another. Now you might say, whoa, this people business stuff is complicated. Yeah, it sure is. That is if you are doing it right. Plenty of people put into management or leadership positions don't have a clue. They are just self-absorbed, completely emotionally inept, and just brutish. In fact, many of us have been victim to managers and bosses and coaches and priests and parents or other people in quote-unquote leadership positions who didn't know what the heck they were doing. They were like surgeons operating on the heart with a hatchet, right? And then they wonder why they made a bloody mess of the team that they were tasked to lead, and why the organization, the organism that is under their care, died. The cause is gross leadership malpractice. And this is why I developed that leadership development training system that I mentioned to you called Hero's Journey. It takes you through the development process of how to become a 21st century leader, because it's radically different today than it was in the 20th century. And see, leadership is not something that you can learn intellectually. It's not an education. You cannot learn leadership in school. It's kind of like getting physically fit. You cannot read a book and lose weight and build muscle. You have to work out. You have to develop your body through exercise. Well, the same is true for leadership. It is a development process. An essential part of leadership is not just leading your team, but growing them into leaders themselves. You see, the world is changing and progressing too fast. You can no longer just breed followers. You now need to grow every member of your team into self-motivated, self-sufficient, self-accountable, and self-directed leaders. I'd put it as bluntly as this. The dividing line of competition in the marketplace is this: who can grow and develop leaders faster than their competition? That will be who wins and who loses going forward. You see, the 20th century definition of an organization was an economic entity. And as a manager or a leader, you would develop structures, you'd set controls, you'd leverage capital through pyramids of hierarchy, performing rigidly narrow tasks with clear guidelines. But this is the 21st century, and that model no longer works. Not in this rapidly changing, constantly evolving, and accelerating global marketplace and technologically advancing world that we live in today. The number one asset of a company used to be financial capital. Now it is human capital. The number one skill a leader needed in the 20th century was economic competence. Now it is emotional intelligence, with the goal to no longer develop followers, but to develop leaders of all your people. Every person in the organization has to be nimble, flexible, self-sufficient, and equipped to lead their part of the business without having to be told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. There's no time for that. You'll soon be out of business if everybody operates as followers, waiting for their orders from Mount High. The best investment that an organization can make is in the growth and development of their people. The return on increased output is a multiplier. There's no better return on capital. I'll just give you a, for instance, from my own business and leading my own team. If you take the most productive, high margin, and uber profitable technology companies in Silicon Valley, California, and you calculate their revenue per employee, our A team has, we call our team the A team. They produce 20 times more revenue per employee than the top companies in Silicon Valley do, who have the public markets at their disposal. How? How is that even possible? 20 times the output? It is because I invest heavily into the growth and development of my team. And as a result, they operate and produce at a much higher level of productivity and output per person and then collectively than most any other team of people anywhere in the world. So I speak here from experience. It is the best investment that you can make, the investment of growth in your people. Okay, I hope that helped remind you about the importance of investing in the people around you, especially those who are responsible for supporting your success. If you too believe in investing in your people, I want you to write #PeopleBusiness in the comments below. And the best investment when it comes to growing leaders, yourself or those around you, is the hero's journey. You'll find a link to learn more about it below. It guarantees more than triple your investment or your money back, making it impossible to lose and guaranteeing you lots to gain.
Well, hey there, Darren Daily community. Allie from the A-Team here. Now, after watching today's Darren Daily, I just wanted to pop on here really quick and testify. So Darren talked about how it's the leader's job to grow, develop, motivate, inspire, and draw the best out of the people on their team and everyone else around them. Well, having been on Darren's team now for several years, he really knows how to do this. And he is so thoughtful in his approach with us. I mean, I have seen the members on our team literally blossom right before our eyes, and it has been so incredibly special to watch. Now, the great thing is, Darren is willing to also teach you how to do this as well. And not just with all the brilliant people on your team, but also all of the amazing people in your home and all the people in your neighborhood and your community that you didn't even know were watching you and being inspired by you. Now, the only place that Darren teaches the emotional intelligence growth that he has had to do to become a better leader and all the skills to motivate, inspire, and lead people effectively is in our Hero's Journey Growth Adventure. Now, this is just another reminder. If you haven't already stepped up to join us, I really want to encourage you to do so. I promise, you will be so glad that you did. So this time next year, you and all the people around you will be better for it. So just use the link below to join us. We start off in January of 2022. I will see you there.